let's bring in something a little bit exciting. We are going to make a cordial called 44 or 44, which is a French country, basically homemade liqueur. As you're making it, keep in mind that it has to rest in the jar for 44 days after you make it, before you serve it. So let's make 44. All right, bitches, we're gonna make 44. Let me do another one. All right, we're gonna make 44. This is how you do it. You need 44 coffee beans, 44 cubes of sugar, and use the one with the parrot on the box, or one that's not super bleached. But don't use demerara or that sugar in the raw. Don't use that because it'll affect the color. And you need vodka. So I use Tito's, which is made in America. But you should really use 100 proof vodka if you can find it, because it's a completely flavorless liquor. Start with an organic orange. Wash it with soap and water. The guy who stacked it in the grocery store might have had poo-poo on his hands, so you always have to wash. I'm gonna insert 44 coffee beans into this orange. The French, because they're French, probably sit there and somehow stick these into the orange. It's impossible. So what I do is I make 4 cuts just barely through the skin, just like that, barely through the skin. And I start to put in the coffee beans so that they're not visible. They're inside the skin. We're making 44. Nobody knows what we're making it for, but we're making 44. So the reason why you use an organic orange is because you're going to soak it in alcohol, and all of the disgusting pesticides that are used on oranges will leach into your liqueur, which is not cute and also causes cancer, so you don't want that. What I would suggest is that as you're putting this in, do it over the container. Now you're going to need a large jar, and all the drips are going to drip in here. I still have some left, and all the lines are filled, so now I'm going back over and looking for spaces in the lines. See that? That one's cut a little bit deep, but it really doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter if you actually use 44 of everything, but you're supposed to. Remember, the longer you leave this, the better it's going to be, but you must leave it for 44 days. Now the container, think about this before you do this, has to be able to hold an orange, so it's got to be big enough to hold an orange. Put your orange in the container. We put 44 sugar cubes in. 2, 4, 44 sugar cubes. You're going to remove the pesky pouring thing, because you don't need that. And you're going to take your vodka and you're going to pour it in. Now you notice what happened? The orange floated. You have 2 options. You can let the orange float. It will eventually sink as it becomes filled with liquid. Or you can take a chopstick, like we did for pickled shrimp, and press it down so that the orange is held below the surface. Regardless of whatever you do, you want to seal this with a little saran wrap, because alcohol evaporates and you don't want your 44 not to have alcohol in it, God forbid. I like to make it look nice even though nobody sees it. Put whatever your lid is on top. And then forget you made it for 44 days. Put it in a cool, darkish place and just forget about it. I usually put a P-Touch label here that says the date that it's ready, and then I don't think about it until that day. And you will see it changing color over the course of the 44 days. Then you take it out and you drain it into a coffee basket or a coffee filter or even a sieve, and it will look like this. That is completed 44, and man, is it good. 44, I'm telling you, your friends probably haven't had it. You're gonna love it. It's sweet, it's smooth, and it packs a punch. 44. Nobody knows what we're making it for, but we're making 44.